Hey guys, and welcome back to another FM22 Transfer Guide with me, Raxel FM, where today we are looking at 3 signings and 3 sales for Ajax, a side that of course have been dominant in the Eredivisie, but are now looking like they could push into European glory with a semi-final place not too long ago, and with a couple of decent signings and a couple of decent sales, we can help push for those European spots quite easily. If you are excited for that, please make sure you do smash the like button, as well as subscribing to the Rex FM YouTube channel so you don't miss daily-ish Football Manager videos. And without any further ado, let's take a look at what the board want you to do. They want you to play attacking and entertaining football, develop players using the youth system, and don't sign players over the age of 28, they're too old. They want you to maintain the club's reputation as the best team in Holland, which is of course only going to happen by winning some decent competitions, work within the wage budget, which isn't too hard, especially when you get given £29 million. I mean, none of that is actually involved in wage budget type thing, but if we bring it across, I'm sure we can find about £23 million and a very decent amount of wage budget. And they want you to be competitive in the Champions League, which is very vague, but I guess it means that you do as good as you possibly can and win the Eredivisie. And in the future, they just want you to keep doing that, which is interesting. I think that we should be pushing for Champions League glory at some point during the save. So youngsters will be important, players will be important, and some quality will be important. You know what else is important? Staff. I don't really know why Ajax has none. I checked in the early save, the start of Football Manager data save type thing, and they don't have any staff there either. Is that a real life thing? Please let me know down in the comment section below. So I will be signing a couple of stuff just so I can scout players. But for now, I don't need staff to sell players. The first player that I'm selling is Zachariah Labyad, who unfortunately just ends up being the worst of a position where we have a lot of decent options. Players like Dusan Tadic can play in this position. I'm sure there's others. There is Berghuis, as well as a couple other players coming through the ranks. Even a youngster like, I can't remember where he is. It starts with an I. There we go. A Hutton can do a really good job in that spot. And with his age, with his ability, and with his lack of potential, I think he is a very easy one to sell. It's not the most profitable sale of all time. It's not the best wage sale of all time. But it is showing that we have an intent to keep our squad at a high standard. And Labyad doesn't quite meet that. In this save, he has gone to the Serie B, which shows his quality. Not to offend the Serie B, but you know what I'm saying. And we've sold him for £1.1 million, which of course isn't the biggest fee of all time, but it's decent for a man that I don't think was going to be used a lot and definitely isn't the best in his position. So long, Labyad. Happy to get some money for you. The next player, I would say, is the most controversial sale I could make. And that's not just because of the controversial nature of this player. It is Andre Onana that is going to have to leave the club. And unfortunately, it's out of my hands. It's because he doesn't want to re-sign for this club. And for now, he can't play for this club because of his bans. So while we have the opportunity, I think you should cash in on him. He's 25 years of age, a very good goalkeeper. It eats me up inside. But you can't use him. You can't re-sign him. There's no point keeping him around. And while you can actually get some money, you probably should. In this save, he's gone to the Serie A for Sampdoria, where he looks like an incredible player. And we only got £4 million for him. Now that's £4 million more than we had before, and £4 million more than we could have gotten for him at the end of the season. But still, it's pretty painful to see this go for that. Next up on the chopping block, it is Martin Stekelenburg, a 38-year-old who hasn't been at Ajax too long in this stint, but obviously has a massive history with the football club. But at 38 years of age and not being our best goalkeeper, even after selling the man Onana, with Pasveer being the much better of the two, 1 year younger, slightly less wage, and just actually being a better option. Martin Stekelenburg unfortunately gets the cut. And once again, it's just because, look, He's not up to par. He's not going to get a lot of game time. And realistically, I don't want either one of these goalkeepers starting when Onana was the player that we have been used to in the past. So a new goalkeeper is certainly on the top of the shopping list. And with that being said, Stekelenburg is absolutely not needed. In this save, he's gone to Shakhtar, which to me seems like a realistic deal for £105,000. Look, it's not a lot of money, but there's going to be wages that come back into our balance. And it shows a precedent, It shows that we're not going to keep players around that aren't up to the standard. And realistically, it's better to get something for someone that you're not going to get a lot for in a season's time and is actually probably going to retire pretty soon. Now that we have made those transfers, brought in a pretty abysmal amount of money, maybe about £5 million, we can spend that money. But first, let's see what we need to improve. This is what the best 11 looks like according to the quick pick setting. And to be honest, without the sales that we have made, it wouldn't be any different. I mean, it's still looking like a fairly decent team. Got a well-rounded squad. But when we go to the squad depth screen, there are some massive issues. Starting up front, with Haller being the only real striker option, as Tadic is going to be a left wing or cam, Antony is going to be our right wing, Berghuis is again going to be a left wing or cam, leaving Haller to be the only decent striker we have. And with a 3-star current ability and potential, and not quite the stats that he probably deserves based off his performances in real life, he needs another option up front to help him score some goals and actually help the team overall score some goals. So I'm not going to say any more about that because I know in my heart, mind and soul, we need a striker in this team. At left wing, cam and right wing, we have plenty of options with Gudas as well as Berghuis, Antony, Tadic, a couple of other youngsters coming through the ranks like this young man on loan. Gravenberch can do a job up there. We've also got Taylor who can do a job up there apparently, even though he's actually more of a central midfielder, but apparently he can do a job. And the other player I would actually identify as an option would be Univar and Brobby. So you're definitely not out of options in those positions. So for me, they're not crucial to improve. But going down into the central midfield, on face value, once again, doesn't look like there's any issues. But Tadic is a left winger. Blind is a centre back. Klaassen is a centre back. Is a central midfielder, sorry. Martinez is a centre back. Mazraoui is a right back. Gravenberch is a central midfielder. Alvarez is a centre back. Gudas is kind of a central midfielder. Berghuis is an attacker. You get what I'm saying here. Not a lot of these players are out and out central midfielders. And not a lot of these players are out and out CDMs. Blind, Tagliafico, Martinez, Mazraoui, Timber, all players I would not consider to be midfielders are considered to be our best CDMs. And if we're versing a Man City in the Champions League, we absolutely want to go with a slightly more defensive approach. So a CDM is crucial to me, and a top quality one is crucial to me. Going into the right back position, you're fine with Timber, Mazraoui, a couple of other players. Left back, same situation. Tagliafico, Timber, a couple of other options. Centre back, Martinez, Blind, Sure, Timber, and you've even got the man, the myth, the legend, Alvarez, all the way down here, who is much better than that 2.5-star current ability that it's saying he has. He has a 3-star with 3.5-star potential. And last but not least, I don't need to say much more. We need a new goalkeeper. So going over that one more time. Striker, CDM, goalkeeper, let's sign them. The first player I have brought into the football club is Divock Origi, a Liverpool legend. I mean, after he scored those goals in the semi-final of the Champions League, he was always going to go down as a pretty decent player overall for that team. And I'm hoping he can do the exact same thing for Ajax, coming in for just £10 million, a potential future fee rise to 20.5 if he reaches 50 league appearances. But even that is a great fee for a man of this kind of talent. 26 years of age, in his prime, already 3.5-star current ability, could improve just a smidgen, and really nice stats across the board. Can play in that striker position or left wing, depending on where you prefer him. I think overall this man adds a bit more oomph to our attack, a bit more youth to our attack as well, and looks like a really good player for the future and for right now. He's here for 5 years, decent wage, but already has gone up massively in value. Origi is going to be a star if you sign him for Ajax. The second player we've brought in, and I'm hoping he doesn't be as much of a flop as he was for Chelsea, it is Kepa Arrizabalaga. Came in for an incredible fee of £71 million, but comes into us for an equally incredible fee of £6.5 million. Could rise to double that, £13 million, but I think this man is looking like the goalkeeper we need for the future to replace Onana and Stekelenburg and the other dude that we have there. He has a high wage now, and that is a little concerning, but he is already worth a lot more than what we paid for him. He is a 3.5 star. Don't let this 3-star take it fool you. He is a 3.5 star current ability goalkeeper when I signed him, and he looks like he has some very nice stats. Handling, kicking, one-on-ones, reflexes, rushing out tendencies, all in the green, with a couple of other decent ones here and there. 26 years of age, same age as Origi, got a lot of room to develop, and I think he looks like he's going to be a lockdown goalkeeper for many a year for us at Ajax. And last, but certainly not least, another 26-year-old. It is the CDM that we needed, and a CDM that I have not heard much about, but looking at him, once I got the scout report in, I knew I had to sign him. It is Tapia, who has come in for just £5 million, could eventually rise to 10.5, and he looks like such a solid CDM. Can play in central midfield or centre-back if you need him to, but with stats like 15 tackling, 15 technique, 15 teamwork, 15 positioning, 17 work rate, really nice physicals, and generally good stats across the board. He is going to be a very nice player for you to bring in on a very cheap fee to start in your squad at central midfield or CDM, depending on where you want to use him. So with those 3 signings done, I think I have certainly improved this squad. If we go the quick pick without restrictions, best 11, we can see that Origi gets straight in there. Kepa Arrizabalaga is straight in there. And I will admit that Tapia isn't straight in there. But I think that within time, he will be able to slot into that CDM spot if you want to use it like this, or the central midfield spot if you want to use it like how it was before. Actually, I'd like to say, if we put it down to this kind of formation, surely he's going into the best 11. Okay, he's not actually. Blind goes up, but you know, still, he's in the conversation, and that's what we need from him. He's a very good player. I think I made 3 very good signings. I'm quite proud of this one. I hope that they are helpful to you. Let me know down in the comment section below who you signed, what was helpful, who you want me to do a 3 signings and 3 sales for next. I am out of people on my list, so literally, if you recommend one, that will be the next one that I do. I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe. I already recorded this whole video and then my laptop crashed, so I'm very happy that I've got through this time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all later.